Hi everybody, welcome back to Susan Lynn, Psychic Medium. Thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate all the support, the new subscribers, the thumbs up, the shares. I appreciate all of that. Thank you so much. So here's the thing. Today we're going to talk about a very interesting prayer, if you will. It's Hawaiian. It's called oponopono. It's a whole lot of O's and P's and O's and N and O's. But this is an ancient Hawaiian prayer that I've known about for years, honestly. And it's very simple. And the reason why I'm doing this video is because it works. This prayer works. It clears away the bad energy. It clears away anything in your path. It can actually affect the people around you. It can actually calm them down or make them, a better version, a nicer version towards you. So this is really, really helpful. Now, there's a lot of history about this prayer. This prayer is literally like 5 words long or 4 words long. 4 words. But I want to give you a little backstory. The backstory is this is an ancient Hawaiian prayer. However, in the Hawaii State penitentiary, there was a mental ward within the penitentiary, and the mental ward was so neglected, and the residents in that mental ward were so bad that literally they couldn't paint the walls. They couldn't repair things in the ward. You couldn't go in there and work. All of the inmates were shackled all the time. They never got to go outside. They never got any outdoor recreation. I mean, they didn't go to the basketball court. They didn't go outside. They weren't unshackled. This is surprising, crazy, terrible, but all true. So I believe this was 30 years ago. So in comes this new psychologist, Dr. Hew Lin. And he goes in, and of course the staff are, rolling their eyes because how many new people have come in and tried to make a difference? A lot. And no one's ever made a difference in this place. The inmates were literally threatening anyone that came in there. So basically they got nothing. They got no perks. They got no free time off of the shackles. They got no outdoor existence. When their walls were crumbling and the paint worn, they didn't get painted because no one could go in there. So Dr. Hew Lin comes in, and he didn't go visit the inmates, the patients, the insane asylum part of the prison. He didn't go visit any of his charges. Instead, what he did was he picked up every single folder from every single inmate in that section of the penitentiary, and he said the prayer over that folder. And then he put the folder down. And then he picked up the next folder, and he said the prayer over the folder, and he put that folder down. He did this through all of the inmates. Then he would go home. Job done. The guy would go home. So then he would come back again, pick up the folder, say the prayer, put it down, go to the next folder, say the prayer, put it down. This was his routine. Now, even as crazy as this place was and as badly as it was run, the staff had never seen anything like this. Nobody had ever seen somebody just come in and pray over the folders of the cases of the inmates and then leave. So at first they just rolled their eyes, apparently. And then after a while, when he kept doing it, because this is all he did, he just came in and read that prayer and left. After a while, they started to notice things. They started to notice changes in the inmates, in these psych ward inmates. They weren't as aggressive. They weren't attacking people. I mean, even though they're shackled, they were still attacking, the people trying to feed them, the people trying to clean. And slowly they started noticing some really big changes. some of the inmates, quote unquote, that weren't as bad as some of the others actually had personality changes. They actually were calmer. They were civil. And then this became the norm for those inmates. And I'm telling you, they watched. Everybody watched. Nobody was going to jump on this bandwagon. Nobody was going to say, this is a success. Let's start letting them have, time without being shackled, whatever. They watched. And then when the other inmates started to also have these changes, then they started letting them have, more free time. They let them have more, they let them have time without being shackled. And it continued. When they took the shackles off, nobody got attacked. Nobody was hurt. Everybody was normal. It was a miracle. It was literally a miracle. It got to the point where they were allowed to have painters come in and paint the walls. The walls stayed painted. Nothing was damaged. Then they let some of the inmates have free time where they could go down to the exercise yard. No problem. So then they let them go and do jobs, actually work with some of the other inmates in the other part of the prison. And that worked well. So it just kept continuing. And the whole time, Dr. Hew Lin was simply saying the prayer. He was just saying the prayer. That's all he was doing. And this is documented in the news. You can go look up Dr. Hew Lin. You can look up the Hawaii State Penitentiary. You can look it all up. It's there. It's documented. This guy was even able to create such a new energy that a lot of these inmates, these psych ward inmates, were actually able to be released from not only the shackles, but from the prison. So yes, this is like a miracle worker. I have used it myself. I know people that have used it. My clients have used it. What is the prayer? The prayer is simply this. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. And I'm telling you, that's it. I go through my life, if I'm in traffic, if I, have some road rage kind of energy around my vehicle, I say the oponopono prayer. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you and thank you. Now, why am I apologizing to them? They're the ones acting crazy, right? It's just the energy. I'm sorry that you're having a bad day. I'm sorry that you're using your car as a weapon, whatever it is. I'm sorry. Please forgive me for being in your space, maybe. I love you. Send love. Close it out with thank you. I'm telling you guys, if you have problems with people in your family, if you have problems with your siblings, with your kids, with your spouse, with your work, try it. Try it. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you and thank you. It's that easy. It's that simple. It really works. All you got to do is try it. All you got to do is try it. See if it works for you. Leave me a comment below. I know it's worked for me. I just got off the phone with a client today that I had recommended her to do this way back in February 2nd of this year. And she used it and she said it changed a lot of parts of her life. Literally was a miracle for her life, right? It really changed people. And she's a skeptic. She was a skeptic the first time I talked to her. Called me today, and a lot of things have changed for the better in her life. And some of it has to do with the whole oponopono prayer. So, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. You guys take care. Good to see you. Good to talk to you. Blessings to you. We will see each other again soon.